G'day guys, Terry here. Welcome back to another episode with Handcrafted by Terry G. G'day guys, Terry here. Welcome if you're new, and if you're regular, great to have you back again. Hey, on today's episode, I thought I'd just run through a little project that I'm going to start today, and that is installing my new fuse box into the caravan. Because guys, the one that's in there at the moment is absolutely crappy, and it's got all these blade parts where the wires all join into, but then on the bottom it's got exactly the same thing, and I'll grab the camera and I'll show you what I mean. So here it is here guys, this is my fuse box for the caravan, and as you can see all the wires on the bottom, and I think that's a potential fire hazard because there's my 12 volt outlet there, and I'm not really happy with that, guys. See how all the wires are all just hanging there dangling. And then down the bottom for my 12 volt part for my positive is a bolt where all those wires are all connected to. So grab your favourite drink, sit back, relax, and I'll show you how to do this 12 volt stuff to installing a new fuse box in your caravan. So what I have in my caravan is I normally just have a basic tool kit when I'm on the road. So I've got my Stanley toolkit, and I've also got a bag of spanners and hammers and screwdrivers and pliers and wire crimps and all like that type of stuff in this bag here. I also keep handy a multimeter and also my roll of spanners in there as well. And yeah guys, so that's what I keep in my caravan just in case anything goes wrong with the van. And also too, I've also got my AEG cordless drill with me at all times as well. It's also important to have some tools in your caravan or camper trailer, or even just the car in general, just in case you may need them at some point. So the first thing we need to do is grab our mobile phone, right? And we're just going to take a photo of our fuse box. So I've got our phone, our trusty mobile phone, right? And I'm just going to take a photo of it. So that way I know and I'm aware of what wire goes to where and what fuses that you need to put back in its place. So that way you can have that photo as a reference. Also too, I'll take a photo of this junction box here. And that way I'm aware also too, guys, on what wires are for negative and also for positive. So that way you've got a good reference to come back to. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to take our power off our batteries for our fuse box. So what I've got over here at the moment, and I'll just take the camera off, and as you can see down here, here's our power line here for our main 12 volt to go into our fuse box. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take our front boot off our positive line, disconnect our positive from our battery. I might jump over that side because it's a bit easier. So we're going to release all of them and take our positive line off. And that way, guys, we know we're going to be safe. Just in case if we touch any negative or anything like that, at least we know there's no power now getting to our 12 volt side. So the next bit we're going to do is we're just going to take all these wires off now from our fuses. So we'll remove our positive line that we had on our battery terminal. We're just going to drop that down there. I'm going to remove all these ones here. So there's the red one, blue one, red one, red one, red one, red one, pink one, and a black one. And then now I'm going to get a bladed screwdriver, and that way we can release those terminals on that white junction box here, because look how terrible it is. Shocking, isn't it? Whoever wired this caravan up was absolutely silly. So that's our positive wire gone, and look at that. That's just a bunch of grapes, that one there. So it's going to look a lot nicer and a lot cleaner after we finish with it. So I'm going to release this one here as well. And that's our positive line. Now, we've got a few wires here as well. Guys, if you're not confident with 12 volt stuff, I highly recommend you going to an auto electrician, or talk to some people that know quite a fair bit about 12 volt electrical stuff. I've done it for quite many years. I was a handyman. I used to run my own business as a handyman, and you know, so I'm quite familiar with a lot of 12 volt gear, a lot of 240 stuff, and you know, all different types of stuff that I'm quite confident knowing how to do them. So now we'll take our fuse box out. So we'll release all the top cables now. And there's all of our positive lines. And we're just going to get a Phillips head screwdriver, and we're going to take the fuse box out completely. And there we have it. There's our fuse box out. So what we're going to do next is the cables up here. I've got a zip clip that you can actually screw all the cables together. So I'm just going to go up and release that. It's just a standard Phillips head screwdriver. A PH2 bit, as they call it. And this is going to help us get a bit more room off the wires. There we go. So there's our there. We're now going to release our negative side. And guys, I've got a zip tie around my negative side, so I don't forget which is negative and which is positive. So it's also handy to do. That way you don't get your wires mixed up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to release our negative from our junction box. We'll get them out. So these two are our negatives as well. The white one and the black one. And what I'd like to do next is I'm going to wrap them with the rest of the negatives. So that way we don't forget what's what. Right, so I got my electrical tape here, and I've just got the standard stuff here. And I'm just going to wrap all my negatives together like so. So that way I don't forget what's what. Right. So I'll release that one as well. That one's our negative to our shunt, because all of our power needs to go to the negative side of the shunt. So that way the shunt can pick up on what's happening and how much power we're drawing and all like that type of stuff. So now we'll remove this yucky junction little box here. We moved him out of the way. We'll just set him down like so. And now we'll have a good look at our wiring. So here's our wiring here. This is our positive one, okay? So we've got quite a fair thick positive. We've got our positive for our fridge, because our fridge works also on 12 volts as well. Even though it's connected on 240 at the moment, the fridge is currently switched off because of our 12 volt side. The selector actually works on 12 volts. Also too, there's a relay just up a little bit further as well, and that's what switches it over from 12 volt to 240 and also to gas as well. That's what our regulator does, because it's an auto select. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to cut this little clip off here, up the top, and that's going to give me some bit more room to work with our wires, even though I've still got all my negative wires taped up as well. Okay, so the next chore we've got to do is we've got to take all these funny looking spade bits off our wires, and we're going to put some a hook crimp so to go into our new junction box. So we'll cut them off now, and what I want to do is cut everything really close to the crimp itself. So we'll cut that one, cut this one, so we'll cut all of them. And there's this fella as well. And there's this one. So let's cut him as well. Right. And this is our fridge wire. And I might give this a bit of a trim as well, the fridge wire. All right. So that's all done now. All of our positive wires are trimmed. Here they are here. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to de-shield the wires, and we'll put our crimps on, shall we? So we'll open him up. So I've just got a Stanley knife here. I'm just going to run through it like so. Right, we'll open up our terminal packet. Whoop, something just blew away. I'll stick that under here. Absolutely beautiful day here today. It's beautiful, nice, clear sky. It is quite a cool breeze blowing, but still beautiful. A Saturday. Be nice to be down on the waterfront actually. So guys, I get all my 12 volt stuff from Andrew from Oz Auto Electrics, and it's good quality gear. If you're after any 12 volt stuff, guys, I'll leave a description down below for Andrew, and that way get in contact with him. He sells online and he also sells to the general public. So if you're chasing any 12 volt stuff, get onto him. He's got some fantastic stuff, and it's good quality stuff as well. So we'll empty these out on the table, so that way we've got a rough idea on what we need. So we've got our fuse block, which is just here, and I'll point the camera down a bit further so that way you can see it. Here's our fuse block here, right? And that way we've got to work out what wire goes where. And that's why I said that you needed to take a photo, and that way you'll understand what wire goes where and what fuse goes where. So we've got our crimps, and we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them to go into this new fuse box. So what I've got here in front of me is our hook crimps, and we'll get them put onto the wires ready for our fuse box, shall we? So we'll open them up. So what I've got here is I've just got some wire strippers, and we're just going to take the strips now, our shield now off our wire. So what I normally do is I just put it in a little bit like so, pull the handle, and away you go. It's nicely stripped. So we'll do that to all of our wires for our positive side. So that one, we've done that one, we've done that one. Now there's this one. This one here. That one's done. We've got to do this big fella now. And I might do that one with the Stanley knife, and that one as well. I think might have to do this one with the Stanley knife as well. Oh, no, I got that one. That one was pretty good. Okay. So we stripped back all of our positive wires, except for one, which is this fella here. So we might get the Stanley knife onto that one and de-shield that one a bit. Guys, when you use the Stanley knife, just be careful. Yeah, you don't want to cut yourself. Alrighty, so that's de-shielded now. Now guys, it's up to you. Whatever you choose to do, you're welcome to solder it, or you know, or just crimp it. I'm just going to crimp mine because I'm quite happy just to crimp it. But it's up to you. If you feel confident that you want to solder your wires from tinging and all like that, go for it. But just for me, I'm just happy just with the crimps on there. And the reason why I make them a little bit longer is when you de-shield your wires, sometimes they got like little furry bits hanging out the end of them, right? And you can cut them back with your nice sharp side cutters and square them all off. That's done, that's done. Okay, all of our positive wires are completed. Okay, so the next bit we're going to do is I've just got some heat shrink. And I just went to J-Car and bought some heat shrink, just some small stuff. What size is it? It's... yeah, it's about 6 mil. heat shrink. And this one here is really good quality too, guys, because it's got the glue actually in the heat shrink, which actually seals up your wires. So what we need to do now is we need to calculate how much heat shrink we need for our crimps and wire. So I've just got a nice pair of sharp scissors as well. Here's one of our crimps. So what I like to do is I like to just go twice the size of our crimp. So roughly about, say about 20 mil, right? So I'll just trim that off like so. Okay, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll cut 8 of them at 20 mil. Doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to measure them up with a ruler. I just rough it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's that 8. Okay. So I've got a good set of crimps. I went out and bought a good set of crimps. I hate those flimsy things. You go and use them all the time, and they're absolutely RS. You just can't get enough torque on them. So get yourself a good quality set if you do 12 volt stuff. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is grab our heat shrink. Okay, so the next step we need to do is grab one of our positive wires, like so, right? And I want you to grab the bit of heat shrink, go over the top of the wire, like that. See how I got the heat shrink over the top? And then just grab one of your crimps. We'll just size him up a bit. And as you can see, the wire's a little bit too long for that crimp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my nice, like, sharp side cutters, and I'm just going to trim some of the excess off. And see how I mean? It's a nice, clean cut, that one. Just give it another 12. Grab our crimp. Put our crimp on like so, right? Now I grab my trusty crimpers, and on my crimpers I've got 3 marks. I've actually got a red, blue and yellow. So what we need to do, because this is a blue crimp, we're going to use the blue part of the tool to crimp them. So as you can see, put it in there like so. I like to put my crimp in first. And I've just dropped our heat shrink. Can never have enough heads, eh? Alright, so we'll put a new bit of heat shrink on, like that. Grab our tool. I'm going to place our wire into it. And now we're going to squeeze nice and hard on our crimp. Release it off. I'm just going to drop that down there. And as you can see, guys, it's a nice strong crimp. So then all you got to virtually do is put your heat shrink over the top. And I just want you to come just a little bit past the actual crimp itself. So now we've got our blowtorch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to burn that heat shrink so it glues all the way around to the crimp and also the wire itself. So we'll ignite it up, our flame. And you want to be You want to make sure that you don't burn your wires or anything like that, so I just like to go over it nice and quickly, like so. And that's it, guys. That's our first one done. Hey, how well does that look? And that's what your professional auto electricians will do as well. Exactly the same as that. So we'll continue on with the next ones, and I'll do them all now off camera, and we'll come back, shall we? Okay, got a couple more to go. Make sure it's straight. It just slipped out the hole. That'll be right, Terry. Right. And what else have we got? We got one more here, which is this one. Going to be needing the pliers, because what I like to do is just torque those wires down a little bit more. And I might have to go with a 5mm crimp. We were just using the 3.5s. Oh, sorry, no, we were using 4s. They were 4mm. Here's 5 right here. So we'll grab our 5mm. And we'll place that on this wire. So when you're putting your crimps on, this is the way the wire actually works. It's the outer diameter of the wire that runs the current through. So you want to try and get every strand you can in your crimp. And I think that's got it there, guys. So we'll crimp that one on now. Further down with it. Okay. So we'll just double check that's on there nice and good. Yep, look at that. Excellent. So we got one more, which is the fridge wire, which is this one here. I'm just going to trim this one back as well. Just trimming off some of the excess. Alrighty, so there's our wire there. That's all nicely done. Grab our 5mm crimp. Put that on. Oh. Try again with it. Okay, so we'll put our 5mm crimp in. Push it in there nice and good. So our wire's hanging in, see that? So now we'll crimp it. And that's done. Woohoo! So all of our positive lines now are crimped. And now what we're going to do is grab our heat shrink. We're just going to go over the top of it with it. So we're just going to put our heat shrink on our wires. Slide them up over. You can put these on before, but I tried it just before and there wasn't any restrictions, but no, well, they're going on okay now. So, put this other one on. That one slipped on nice and easy. So there's this one. And what else have we got? Got these ones here. And this one. And lucky last, the pink one. Okay, they're all done. All right, so next step we're going to do is grab our torch and we're just going to melt that heat shrink onto our cable. And there's this one here. Alrighty, got one up the top. Yep, I think that's it. Oh, we found one, we missed one. Okay. I mustn't have cut that one. So we'll cut another one at 20mm long. roughly. And we'll place that over our crimp. Okay. He was a lonely little fella. Okay, so we got him on there now. So we'll mount our heat shrink on. And that's it, guys. There's our positive side. So they're all of our positives. Like that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to tape up all these positives to keep them going, because I'm going to now cut the zip tie off our negative side, and we don't want to mix up our negatives to our positives. Okay, so we've got our tape. Our yellow and green electrical tape. So I'm going to grab all these positive lines now, and we're just going to tape them together. So that way we don't get mixed up, which is negative and positive still. Rightio, look at that. All nicely together, all nice and crimped. They got the red heat shrink on there to show us that they're positives only. Even though, see how there's a different colour one here, which is black, that black wire is still for a positive. So that's something that's inside the van, which is connected to positive. Right. So let's begin to take our negatives off. So release all them. Okay. So we'll take our zip tie clip off. These are pretty good too, these zip tie clips. You just put your wire over them, pull them, and screw them straight to wherever you need to. Okay, so here's about all of our negatives. And we've got two up here, which is quite heavy duty. So I'm just going to trim them, so make them a little bit more neater. That one's done. And we'll do the same to this fella. That one's done. Alrighty. So let's release these fellas now. Okay, so we're going to cut these ones so they're clean. Get a clean bit of copper on them. I'm just doing this outside the van, guys, so I don't get all those strands of wire inside my boot. I'd rather go on the grass in my bin here. And last one. Okay, so all of our negative cables have all been cut now. So all freshly done. So that way we can put some new terminals on. So what we need now is 8 crimps. So we'll grab 6 of the 4.3 mil. So there's 4, 5, 6, right? And we want 2 at 5 mil. Because we've got that bigger cable there, guys. Okay, so here's our 5mm ones, so we'll stick them there. And I might just get rid of this rubbish here. And there's our other ones. It's always good to have a nice clean area when you're working. Okay. All right, so we'll de-shield our negative side now. So we'll grab our wire strippers that we used before, and we're just going to strip them back. We won't do the two big ones with it, we'll just do the small ones. Rightio. So that's our small ones completed, all of our negatives. And now we need to de-shield our two big ones with a Stanley knife. So this one here, because this is nice thick cable, this one, that's why I don't like using these. These are only a cheap wire stripper, these ones here. They're not very dear, these ones, and not very strong either. They're only made of plastic. So I for the big stuff, I just use the Stanley knife, just run around it. And then grab our side cutters, put it where your cut mark is, and just pull like so. Do the same with our white one. Go around our shield. Okay, grab our side cutters and de-shield it. Like that. All right, so that's our negative side done. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put our crimps onto our negative terminals now. So we'll start by doing that. Twisting our wire, and then give it a bit of a trim back. Right. So what do you reckon, guys? What do you think so far that we've done? Yeah, it looks pretty good, doesn't it? Nice and easy. And I love doing this type of stuff. It's I find it very relaxing to do it. And how lucky am I? My youngest bought me out a nice hot cup of coffee. And still, what a magnificent day out here. Yeah, absolutely beautiful day. So the next step we need to do now, guys, is we need to cut some of this black 12 volt heat shrink now for our negative terminals. That way we're aware then later down the track, or if we ever decide the van, the next person will know then if they do any 12 volt stuff on our caravan, if we do tend to sell it, which is positive and which is negative. So we'll do exactly the same. We'll just cut 20mm lengths off. So we need about 8 of them. So how many I got there? There's 4, 5. 6, 7, and 1 for good luck is 8. Okay, so we've got our 8 negative heat shrink, and we'll go and put these on, shall we? Okay, so we're back over to the caravan now, having a look at our wires. Sorry about the background noise, there's a guy down there getting some pest controlling done. He's running a pump off his trailer, getting all rid of those creepy crawlies, so sorry about the background noise. Okay, so we've got all of our negative terminals, and guys, have a look at this. These King's lithium batteries, I tell you what guys, I highly recommend them. Simon Muster from Lock Your Hubs 4x4, check out his channel. He's done some great reviews on these King's batteries, and yeah, he's done some amazing stuff with them, and go and check out his channel. I'll leave a link down below, and he explains all about them. Yeah, check out Simon's channel on Lock Your Hubs 4x4. So we'll put our negative terminals on. We'll twist our wire. Grab our heat shrink. I might put this heat shrink on first, actually. That one's a little bit too long, so we'll just trim him down a bit. Okay, what did I do with my crimps? I left them back over here at the table. Here they are. Okay, so we've got our negative cable, and we've placed our heat shrink on our negative cable, and we've trimmed back our excess. Now we're just going to get our crimp, place it on there like so, and our crimping tool. And we're going to squeeze our crimp on our negative terminal. There we go. All done. Look at that. So that's our first one completed. And we'll melt our heat shrink to our terminal. Like that, and that's our negative done. So I'll continue on, guys, putting all of our terminals on and our heat shrink, and we'll come back after I've completed it. Okay, so we've got our negative terminals all crimped up now, and we're just going to burn in that heat shrink. So I'll grab our torch. And we'll start doing that, hey? So just trying to get our heat shrink over our terminals. Okay, so we got that. Well, the wind's blowing. Okay, so I got our terminal fixed up now for this one. So we'll mount this one. Okay. There's that one. And I think we got all of them. Yep, all of them are done. So I'll put the torch over here on the table so that way it doesn't get knocked over. And yeah, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab our electrical tape and I'm just going to run our electrical tape around our negative wires, and that keeps them all nice and together, guys. Like that. So there's all of our negatives and there's all of our positives. And how well do they look, guys? Heaps better than what they were before, weren't they? Okay, for the next step, we're going to get our fuse box now. And we're just going to put in all of our fuses and double check everything. Okay, so we've got brown and we've got blue. So the brown one was 7.5, our blue one is 15. And next one that we need is the 10 amp. So we'll take our 10. So we'll put that in. The next one is 15. The next one here, which is the yellow one, which is 20. Then back to 7.5, which is the brown one. Strange, it's a little bit tricky to get this one in. Turning him around and see if it works better that way. There we go. Got him that time. Okay, so 2 to go. So we've got an orange one here. How many amps is this one? This one's 5. And the next one is 20. So hang on to this one, we will. And just in case we might need it a little bit later on down the track. At least we got it. There we go. So I'll stick that in my tool bag. And we'll put our fuse now in there, into our block. And there we have it. There's all of our fuses. So we've got our bunch of mess here, so we won't need them anymore. We'll keep our power cable because we'll need that. So I'll just stick that over to the side as well as that one. But next what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab our multimeter. And I'm just going to check the continuity on our fuse block. So we'll go to ohms and check our continuity. So when you put your red and your black lead together, you'll hear a beep like this. And that's when you know you've got continuity. And I'll bring the camera around so you can see what I'm seeing. Okay, so we've got our multimeter. And like I was showing you before, when you put your positive and negative test leads together, you hear a beep, right? So what we've got here on our fuse block is on here, we've got the positive terminal, which is up the top, and our negative, which is down the bottom. So these bus bars down the bottom, which is our negatives, and the ones along the side here are for our fuses. So I might turn it around so you can see it a little bit better with our fuses, but each individual lug on the side is what we're going to be putting our positive terminals into. And then when the power is actually on, those little LED lights in the middle there, they'll turn on, they'll go bright red. So we'll just check our continuity. So what I'm going to do is go from our positive terminal here on our fuse blocks, and then I'm also going to go onto our lug here on the side and make sure that we've got good continuity with our fuse. So as you can see there, it's reading quite good. Our next one. Yep. Next one. And they're all reading fantastic. And lucky last. Look at that. We'll also check our continuity as well on our negative side. So we'll go on to our negative terminal here and we'll just check it. And at the back, up the top, and down the back again. So from this side here across, right, across this way, these negative terminals here are for this side here. And for the same on this side here as well as our negative terminals for this side. So our positives will go along the side and our negatives will go up along the top there. So what we'll do next is I'll turn the camera around, guys, and put you back inside the boot of the van and show you how to connect up this fuse box. Okay, the next step is we're going to mount our fuse box now. So I've just got some little screws, roughly about 10 mil in length, and we're going to screw our fuse box up onto the wall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the negative fuses up on top. Somewhere probably about there, I reckon. And we'll screw them in. I won't do it up tight. I'll make sure that it's nice and level first before we do it. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So I'll put it our next one. So we'll tighten him up. The reason I'm not using the drill to put my screws in is I don't want to torque the fuse box down to rock hard. I'd rather get the feel of a Phillips head screwdriver putting a screw in. So that way I know when it's enough torqued into the plywood. So we'll put the other one in now. nearly there. Yep, and one up the top. Okay, so we've got our fuse box in there quite nice now. Look at that. Okay, so I'm going to grab my mobile phone and I'm going to match up our wires now with our fuse box. So I'll grab the photo that we had before. So that brown one, the 7.5, which is the black, the two black ones. So that's what we'll need there. So we'll undo our power cable here. And don't worry guys, I'll put all this in heat shrink when I finish connecting them all. So that way it looks a lot nicer. And you don't see all these cables everywhere. Okay, so we want our black wire, which is that one there. Make sure it's not tangled. So here's our first one. And we'll release the first one here off. And we're going to match that up inside like that for our first one. And we're going to torque that down now. Like that. So I'm just going to bend that back just a little bit. And that looks nice and neat. So the next one we want is our pink one, which is this white fella here. We'll get him free. So he's not tangled in all the wiring. Okay. So we're just going to release this lug off here now. And we're going to join him up. Like so. Oh, we want this one. I was screwing the wrong one down then. Okay, so we'll release this one off. And the next wire we want is the red ones. You're probably saying, Terry, but there's 5 red ones there. How do you know which is which? Well, don't worry, guys. I can tell by the colours. And the thicknesses as well on what goes where. And then we've also, too, guys, have got to put in, we've also got to put in this one here into this lug here. Been doing that a lot lately, dropping my screwdriver. And also our fridge as well. So this is the power for our fridge. And that's the 12 volt for our fridge. All right. As you can see how nice and neatly it is now. So what I'm going to do is, I know I haven't put a fuse there where the fridge has gone yet, but I'm going to put a 20 amp fuse there because I know that's a big, quite a big fridge, and it'll draw quite a fair bit of power. Okay, so the next thing we've got to do now is we've got to hook all of our negative cables up to our bus bar on our fuse box. So I'm quite happy with that. I'll run all that in conduit when I'm finished, and that way it'll be nice and neat. You won't see all this wire at all once I'm done. Okay, so we've got all of our negatives on now to our fuse box, and as you can see, I put the same amount of negatives on each side. You're probably asking, Terry, what did you do that for? The reason why I put the negatives equally like that is so they level out throughout the fuse blocks, and that way it's equal to it. So that way, if we add anything more into it, the amount of power getting drawn in and getting drawn out will be the same. Okay, so I've got some leads here that I had out the back, and they're the right size lugs too to go on our battery terminals, and I've also got some conduit. So I'm going to put our leads now in our conduit. So we'll start off with the negative one. And guys, this one here's got to split down the side. It'll probably be a bit fiddly trying to get it in there. I got an idea. See if we can thread this through like that. There we go, that makes it easier. Okay, so we've got our wire now in our conduit, and we're just going to tape up the ends with a bit of black electrical tape. So we'll break off a bit so it's brand new again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around of our conduit like so, right, over around the wires once, and then continue it through. So it's all properly in there and it's all properly secured as well. So I'm just going to pull it off like that, and check that out, guys. Hey, what a beautiful job that is. Yeah, and that's what your professional auto electrician should do as well, to protect your cables. Okay, for our other end, it's got our, what size lugs are they? 10 by 8, because it's 10 square cube cable, which is good heavy duty cabling to go from our batteries to our fuse box. And you're probably saying, Terry, but it doesn't have a fuse on here. Guys, it doesn't need to have a fuse box because you're going into a fuse box. So, yeah, all right, we'll get these connected up, and then it's all done. Then all we got to do is put the conduit then on these cables here. Okay, so we'll put our negatives on our stud, which is way up the top, if I can get to them. So that connects onto there. That goes there. Then our washer. And then the nut will screw onto the stud. Like that. And we'll put him back up the top there. So that's all done now for our stud. And what I need to do now is just release a bit of this cable down, because this is the one that's going to go to our battery. Grab our Phillips head screwdriver, and now we're going to link all the power up now to our batteries. Okay guys, there you have it. So our fuse box is all mounted in with all of our fuses. So there's all of our fuses there, all connected up properly. So all I've got to do virtually now is just tidy up this wiring now with a bit of conduit and some black electrical tape, and just some P-clips on the conduit so it sits up there nicely and firm. But that's it there, guys. If you like this video, leave me a comment down below. I love to hear from each and every one of you. And thanks for tuning in, guys. If you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe so that way you'll know when my next video comes out. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe, everyone. And remember, as always, make it yourself. Take care now. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.